Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode on Unscripted. Today I'm joined by one of the greatest athletes to ever come out of Australia. He is considered one of the greatest featherweights of all time, one of the most respected fighters in MMA. His journey has been all about hard work, discipline and resilience. Volk, welcome to the show, brother. How are you?
It's been a while. We've been teeing up for a while. We did a bit of training. We're like, we've got to get, we've got to do a proper podcast, but I'm glad we finally did it.
Bro, you're looking fit. You still been training?
I appreciate that. I'm always training. I'm actually, can I say? I don't think I can say. It's not really.
Can you say it?
I can, no. Well,
You can't do that. You
I
can't do that.
I might be doing a movie that I'm leaning out for.
Shut up.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
What
maybe.
movie? What are we talking? It has to be action-packed. Or it's either action-packed, it's
I don't
cooking, could be comedy.
I mean, you could do a little bit of research and it'll be, and then you'll see what's happening. I'm going to have to be that guy. I can't literally say it, I don't think.
You know what I'm getting right now? If you're talking movie, if we're talking actors, you remind me of Jason Statham.
That's the look I'm going for, you know what I mean? That's what people always ask me. If I had a movie about me, who would I want to play the character? I've always said Jason Statham. But now, I'm doing a bit of acting gig myself, I'll play the character. I'll play myself.
Transporter 9, how about that? What's this movie about? Can you tell us much about it?
I mean, it's pretty...
I haven't seen it, man. When I was scripting for this show, I went down.
Man, I don't like it. When's this going to be released?
Next week. Next week would have been released. Sunday.
Today, as soon as I goes there, bang.
Maybe. We'll see.
It's going to be out anyway. It's not really, but there's it could be. Well, all I'll say is, shit. I think Street Fighters in town. I don't know if you know about Street Fighters in town. Yeah. Maybe I make a little. I'm probably going to get in trouble for that. I don't know why, but anyway, it should be fine.
Any other actors you can name?
So it's already out there, so I can say this. There's a few people that are out there. Who's already out there, mate? I don't want to get in trouble, I don't bloody... Because they've always said... Everyone knows Andrew Schultz's in there, Jason Momoa. There's a few other guys, Roman Reigns, a couple of WWE stars, a few other guys, maybe some famous rappers.
I did see this, but I thought it was just I thought it was rumors. I don't know if it was confirmed.
Well, now it is, so I'm definitely getting in trouble.
It's
probably not. I probably won't even get in trouble, but I'm just like, look at me, always sitting on the fence. I don't want to get myself in trouble.
We'll look after you.
Okay, yeah.
Speaking of acting, you're obviously still training. What are you training for? Anything, or just keeping fit in general?
I just keep fit. So I'm going to be playing a little part, and I'm probably going to have to take a shirt off. So I'm like, I've got to at least have a 4-pack, all right? I don't want to go in there with a beer belly. So I was like, I'll try and lean out a little bit. Still got a little bit of time till I need to be on set, but I'm just going to diet a little bit, make sure.
What's your training schedule look like now? Because last time we met, you were pretty intense. You trained twice a day.
So that was before the fight, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. So that no, it depends. Like some days it's anywhere from 2 to 4 sessions a day. Fuck. It can be, yeah. So right now, and that's still the same now. In camp, we do pull it back. It's probably 2 to 3 sessions a day. Out of camp, I'll probably do more. The intensity drops down a bit, but I'll probably do more hours. So I'm training back full schedule again, easing back into it.
What about your diet? What's your diet look like?
Diet, try and be.
Well, I've seen you cooking with Volk channel, brother. You're eating anything.
That's why everyone's like,
everything.
It's funny when I tell people that I'm sort of trying to lean out. They're like, they see the cooking, but we're lucky enough where, I'll do that. I'll have a couple of bites, and then that's all they need. And I'll make sure I'm just sticking to a couple of bites. Everyone sees me do all this, and they're like, oh man, he's going to be heavyweight. But I try and be controlled. I only have 1 or 2 bites, even though the food's good, real good. Oh. But I'll make sure I only have the 1 or 2 bites.
I never took you to love food that much. Where did this cooking with Volk come from?
I've just always loved food. Mate, I used to be front rower. You know what I mean?
We'll get into that.
So you could tell that I used to love food. 97 kg I used to be. I've always loved food. My dad, was always cooking the barbecues at home, and the Macedonian, the Greek food. I've always loved that food, but the barbecues, getting the lamb on the spit and whatever it is, just I've always loved a good barbecue. So I've always, even at a young age, I've always been able to, help out with the barbecue. Yeah. And then every time me and my mates, or whenever someone had a party, I would end up being on the barbecue. So that's sort of been the thing. So the same as my dad, every time there's an event, he would rock up and then end up having to be on the barbecue, like, you know. So I used to get dragged, I still do, get dragged into that sort of, what would you say, part of that party. So I'll go there, and the next minute I'm cooking. But I don't mind. I enjoy it. So even I hate watching people do it anyway. Like, you know, even if they're doing a good job, I just want to get hands on. That's just how I am.
You're one of those wonk mums that come in the kitchen, like over just looking to see if you're cooking the food right. You know.
I just rather do it myself. You know what I mean? Like even unless someone, you know, you get professionals teaching you things.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I'll leave it to the pros and they can teach me something, which it's cool. That's what I love about the cooking with Volk. I get to get a lot of, you know, I'll do things that anyone can do. And then I'll get the professionals to show me and my audience, you know, how to cook, you know, and get
I've got a feeling you'd kill it at a Lebanese barbecue.
Barbecues,
we'll
right?
take it with open arms.
I've done some, I've even done a couple of those. So yeah, we've got to tee something up. We'll do something.
100%.
But I mean, it sort of started. This is how the Cooking with Volk actually started. So social media. I would be in camp, and then whenever I was like in New Zealand or Thailand, like a lot of times I'll just end up cooking for me, myself, and Joe, my coach, or my training partners. Yeah. I would end up cooking. So I end up just started off with a story. I would have a story, and people would you know, comment back. Then I'll just do a post of what I was cooking, and then I'll get quite a bit of interaction, and then I end up just doing other things, and it just grew from there. And then some of my most viewed content, even early days, was the food content. You know, here I am fighting for a world title, and then, you know, and then I'll just do a salt and vinegar chip crumbed like sort of chicken tender, getting millions of views. You know what I mean? I'm just like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, oh, we're onto something here. So then just because I enjoyed it and just kept doing it, and people were just loving it, and then that's when Cooking with Volk, Stupid Little Bowl, a couple of other little things that we started doing, and people started loving it, so we just rolled it on.
But you're busy. Like, you're doing the cooking channel, you're training, you've got a family, about to welcome a new bub as well, fourth daughter. God bless you, man.
Yeah.
You're going to be looked after when you're older.
Yeah, they say that, so I hope so.
Knock on wood.
It's a tricky one. Like for me, because you want to be that firm parent, you know, to be getting prepared for the world, right? Like you want to, you know, you don't want to be too soft. So you always like, man, I hope they understand what I'm trying to do here, because I wouldn't say I'm quite hard. I can be quite hard on them, but the good thing is, I at least, you know, I'll make sure so I can spend a lot of the time, you know, whether it's playing board games and all that, and I get to do a lot of that stuff. So they get to see the I guess the caring side, but I'll be firm, you know what I mean? Like, because, you know, that's a tough world we need to prepare them for. You know what I mean? 100%. Especially now with your social medias and all this sort of stuff. And there's so much out there. And sometimes, fighting and all that's so easy. Yeah. Parenting's tough.
I agree.
And it's tough because you want to do the best job you can.
Yeah.
And if you want to do the best job you can, sometimes there's easy options, but them easier options might not be getting them ready for the world. And are they going to hate us, you know, later because of, you know, try to mold them into strong, independent women for the, you know, to be ready for the world? I don't think so. And I think they understand how it all is.
I've got two
It's
daughters.
tricky, man.
Yeah, 100%. I'm thinking of the day when it comes. Like, I've got two daughters as well, and the reality is, you know, they're going to be dating when they're older. They're going to bring their partner over my house. I already can envision that day. Like, I'm going to be in the backyard with all the boys in my singlet, chain out. Maybe I'll be training or something, and then I'll make sure I'm on a bit of a pump when I see him.
50 Cent.
Give him that firm handshake. Nice to meet you, brother. Like, have you envisioned that day?
Well, have you seen the 50 Cents? He's got I don't know if it's a movie. Yeah, that one. They've got all the boys in the garage there. It's like,
got it from.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's funny because I'm pretty easygoing. Like, there would be a lot more other fathers that would be way more confronting than I would be. Yeah. Unless they do something wrong. All right, I'm probably coming after them and their dad, you know. But I'm probably, you know, I'm pretty chill. I'm not too staunch. I'm pretty easy going, but unless you cross me, I guess.
You're sure engaged. So
yes.
On top of everything else you're doing, you're with your manager, shareholders with your manager, Palona, and then you're also with Izzy. Is that right?
Izzy, yeah, Izzy. Yeah. So Ash started. It's quite a story, man. The engaged story. So we used to do a bit of training in Thailand. Yeah. Like, so I was there. They had like these tryouts. It was Tiger Muay Thai tryouts back then. And so a lot of people used to go over there and try, because you could go there and train very cheap, right? Like, you can go there. A lot of us that are getting into the sport, don't have money. So like you could go there and train full time at a, and it costs nothing while you're in Thailand. So a lot of people used to do that from all over the world. So a lot of us were over there. I met Izzy over there, met Dan Hooker, Brad Riddell, Kakar France, you name it. There's so many UFC fighters, Peter Yan, so many UFC fighters, all the guys I know, I met them over there in Thailand. And that's where I met Ash. Ash was there and early days, none of us was in the UFC yet. Then he sort of got on board with us back then, and that's where Engage sort of started. And then we all built up together. So myself, Brad Riddell, Izzy, Dan Hooker, the list the list goes on. And then we all just grew together, all got UFC contracts and all that. It was just weird how we all just grew together. And then you got people fighting for titles, world champions, UFC champions, and it's just nuts. And obviously now doing very well.
You spoke about the money. You spoke about the money, especially for fighters in this country. It's hard to stay afloat. Yeah. How did you do it?
Man, it's just it is tough. So I used to be a concreter, and there was times where I remember my first year of MMA, I was concreting, doing rugby league, obviously not pro, but doing it like semi-pro, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And fighting. So concreting, rugby league, and fighting. I was doing it all that year, and it's tough. So you just got to work and then train when you could. Then that was my last year of football. We won the grand final and all that. I was like, I'm going to leave this on a good year. I had a couple of good fights, good wins in my MMA sort of first year of MMA. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to roll this on. So early days, I was just try and work and then try and be a full-time fighter while I was working as well.
Yeah.
So it was tough, but I had I wasn't in the UFC before Ariana was born. Yeah. So I had to, make sure that I could afford to look after my family and still chase the dream. And all that. So it was tough, but I mean, it's just, you got to do what you got to do, right?
100%.
But it was, that's just how it was, I'd, concrete here and there, and then just, fight. And luckily for sponsors here and there that come on board, it's tough, and it is still tough for everyone, It's for a lot of the young fighters. That's why I'm glad that the sport is rising, it's getting a lot of hype around it, but at the same time, the money's just still not there, and it probably won't be for a while. But, you're not really making money till you make it, to be honest, which is unfair because you think you make the UFC, you've made it because that's the pinnacle.
Of course.
You just making the UFC is the pinnacle. Everyone just wants that UFC contract because you've made it. Then you're still struggling, you know what I mean? And again, I don't like to talk about this, but it's just you've got to build yourself up. You know what I mean? It's just how it is.
It's especially harder for being an Aussie as well because obviously our tax, right? So you're losing 50 cents to every dollar if you're above. I think it's 300K. I remember. I think it was Sean Strickland when I think they were fighting here. Was it in Sydney or Perth? And someone was mentioning about how hard it is to put on an event here, make it worth it for them to come all the way from the States and actually fight here. Do you reckon there needs to be some exemption because? I think it goes across the board for any athlete because what's the average span of playing a professional career? 7, 8 years?
Exactly. So that's what just all athletes, right? We're all athletes so a lot of people they'll see the money. Don't get me wrong, I'm blessed to be in the position where I am. But, you're going to get a lot of these fighters that, might not be in a position to be a defending champ and all that. And that can seriously, luckily I have quite a few defenses and them contracts get better and better. Some people might not be in that situation, and you're only in this. How long are we in our sports for? Your athletic prime for how long? It's a short amount of time where you're making money, and some people aren't even making serious money, and it's still only a short time. Even the people that are making good money, it's still a very short amount of time. So I definitely and in Australia it's a little bit different. You have to get paid directly to that person. So you come back and then it's just gone, right? That's just it's how it is. Same as that's why for them it would have been tough because they come to Australia, and they get the 47 cents to the dollar taken straight off.
Yeah,
they go back where they're only getting taxed 30%, but here in Australia they get taxed all that on top as well. So for them they're just like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? It's like an extra 17%. So it's you can see why a lot of them won't do it unless, maybe they get to bump their price up or something.
I think Albo's watching, so I think he's taking notes. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
right.
hopefully he looks after the guys coming after us. Last time we met, we obviously trained together. You put me through that fucking session. It's still scarred me to this day, man. The boys obviously watched it. They had the joy of watching it. Was that normal for you? Like, how did you feel in that present moment? With training, you look like you were just cruising through it.
So because when we did yours, I did one as well, didn't I?
Yeah. So what was it? The meat grinder was 1 minute of sparring.
So did I do the spider that day or the meat grinder? They're both fight simulators. So I do 2 of them in the week.
Jake, do you remember?
It was anyway. Both of them are pretty tough. But man, it's just how it is. It's just that you'll say fight gone bad, right? It's just
it's like you're drowning.
Yeah. Well, the whole point is to just be in bad positions, like, you know what I mean. When I say bad positions, fighting fresh guys that are, you know what I mean. You don't have the beauty of you being in a
fresh.
Well, not even fresh. Like you being in a position where you can get your breath back against your tired opponent. Like everyone's always fresh coming in and they're coming at you. Yeah. So the idea is just you've got a fresh athlete in front of you while you're going down here and they just stay up there. You start in bad positions. It's So it's just what needs to be done, though. You know, a lot of people. I'm sure I won't get too much of. You're gonna ask me questions later on, and that is how I can be that guy, and that's how I can handle certain things when it comes to fight time. You know what I mean? Because of what we put ourselves through in the gym.
Yeah, it definitely shows, obviously, for your performances. I think there's one more thing that stands out for me, and I remember we were talking after the session, and fuck, man, like you had this unwavering belief that you were going to win that fight. Like it was, I was drawn to you through your energy. And what gave you that confidence? Because you're off the back of like let's face it, you're off the back of 2 tough losses, and not many fighters would actually survive that and come back into the ring and do what you did. That's the reality. What gives you that belief within yourself?
It is a tricky one. So, because I'm going to be completely honest with it, you are going to have the moments when there's going to be, that self-talk where you're like, I do believe in myself. I do believe I'm better. I know I'm better. I am putting the work in. But I'll be lying to you if I said there's not other thoughts that creep in. Like as in, could I get caught? I just got knocked out previously twice before that fight. Can I get caught? Of course I can. You know what I mean? So, but the belief that I'm a better fighter is always there. Like I believe in who I am as a fighter and my preparation. I just know that the sport that we play, anyone can get caught and everyone has that chance. And there's always going to be that, I guess you could say, fear and that doubt is like, what if you get caught? But I believe in my preparation. So it's tricky because how much of that was legit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're saying that is like going, am I still telling myself that? I don't know. I'm telling myself I'm a better fighter and I believe that. You know what I mean? That is true. Do I believe I'm invisible? No. Do I believe I could lose? 100%. I believe I can lose. I know I can. I know we all can. But at the same time, I can't speak those words. So you're not going to hear them words come out of my mouth, even if I'm thinking those things in my head.
I feel like once a challenge presents itself, you feed off that. Like you had so much going against you, like I previously said, but you're also past, I don't know what people want to say, the peak fighting age. Like what you did, no other fighter has done in the game. And I believe it was no fighter under 170 pounds over the age of 35 has won a title.
Yes.
So did that feed you even more as well?
Yeah, for sure. Coming off the 2K losses, and because I've always loved being the underdog. I've always been underdog. I've always been undersized. I used to play front row, right? I was a bigger dude. So just my whole life, I felt like I've been the underdog. A lot of people, counted me out, right? Like that's just how I've always been. And I'm okay with that, and I thrive with that. I love it. I love being the underdog. And so I was always, through my career, even when I was a defending champ and favourite and all that, I always look for things to still put myself as the underdog. People still doubted me and all that. People would have got sick of hearing it, but that's what I have to tell myself to motivate myself. The beauty of this one, I didn't have to go looking for it. Let's be real. It's like everyone has every right to think that. Even I'm like, am I the exact same fighter I was 3 years ago? No, I'm not. I'm coming off KO losses. Can that affect the head still? Yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? I'm coming off a big break. There's so many things, so many things that's fair play. I still need to prove it to myself. not just you. So like, I don't need to try and find this underdog mentality or this motivation through being the underdog. Like, it's there. Like, it is. I don't have to go looking for it, which that was easy for me. So I could just be like, all right, that was exciting in a sense, because I'm in a situation where like, oh, let's see if I can put myself out of it. So, and I love that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it doesn't mean it's easy, but that's just where I feel like I shine.
Sliding doors moment. What if things went bad? Where would you be now?
As in, if I lost? Good question. Probably done. Probably. I don't know. Probably. It's a good question. I was like, this is what I said, like the resurgence, right? I think I was talking to Demetriou Johnson when I said this, like, there's no way, like, I'm not looking to have these losses and then fight my way back to a title. Like, that's what I had to do my last fight. And I did 16-week camp and it was tough. Like, I went all out. Like, do I want to have a loss and then do this whole resurgence again? I don't think so. I mean, like, this is my, my last crack most likely. So like, let's just ride out, see where it goes. Maybe, you know what I mean? So that's just me being the truth and saying what I think now. But I could go out there and say, if I lose my next one, I'd be like, nah, I can't end on that. I want another one. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like, who knows? Or I could go there and win and be like, oh, I'm going to sail off in the sunset. Or I was like, nah, I feel good. Let's go again. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm just sort of playing it by ear at the moment. But in a great position. Obviously, very lucky to, be in a position to get myself in this situation, I have the belt back, you know what I mean? So pretty proud of myself. A lot of people are going to ask, like, what's it like? Or you probably are going to ask. I'm going to end up answering probably more of your questions. What's it like to win that belt back? Like, a lot of people are going to ask that. They ask that, and I'm like, oh, I don't care about that. But the fact that I was able to defy all the odds, and that's special. I feel like that's what people are talking about. That's the questions that I love answering, or I love hearing people talk about. Not like, oh, you got the belt back. That's just like, oh yeah, like whatever. But then it's when people start talking about the accomplishment and, you having to dig yourself out of, where your head would have been after 2 KO losses, and just all those things. I'm like going, yeah, because it's true. It's real. Like, I'm not going to sit there and act like I'm the same guy I was years ago. I was like, no, I won that belt back through just grit, determination, and forcing myself to just be young again. Or, you know what I mean? Or, I don't know, like whatever you want to say, like, just literally just making it happen. You know what I mean? Was the doubts creeping in? Yes. Was the doubts creeping in during the fight? Yes. Will I dive into that more? No, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was, when people want to talk about your adversities and want to talk about, the confidence and all that sort of stuff that come from KO losses and everything, and how the body's feeling as you're getting older and all that, like, people aren't just saying that for the sake of it. It's real. Like and I had to feel that, and then be stubborn and be like, I ain't having it. I'm just going to keep going, and that's my only way through this.
When you mentioned the belt, you sparked something in me. Like, obviously, it's a burden coming off the back of what you previously did, but it's also a burden to be a champ, because every challenger you face wants what you have. So he's going to over prepare. He's going to absolutely dial in, put all their time and energy into you to claim that belt. Do you feel that as well, being a champ?
I definitely had a lot of pressure being the champ. So it was timing as well. So the timing now being a champ, like, I'm not going to have the same problems as I did while I was the champ. So it's a responsibility. Like, here I am. I took it. It was a responsibility for me to defend, be an active champ, and make money. You know what I mean? Like, I needed to go out there, and I was knowing, like, how long am I going to be on top 4? Like, I need to make sure I am, while I'm in my prime, making as much money as I can, because I ain't going to be in this sport forever. So like, I would, like, that sort of was always there.
It's easy to get comfortable as well, though.
And yeah, exactly. And I couldn't let myself. So I was just, going and going. And then through that process, I was really, really committed to my craft. Like, I didn't have any time. There's a lot of sacrifices you're going to make to be champion, to get to a position where you can be champion. You want to be the best in the world at anything, you ain't gonna have time to
Relax.
do things like and have a family as well. I'm dad and I'm fighter. I don't have any more time for myself. So that was hard for me to handle because I didn't know how to be myself anymore. And so in between camps, I found it hard because I was just like I had no goals and what am I doing here? So that was tough for me. Now I understand more. So if what I know now, if I was back in that situation, I'd be able to handle it a lot different. But I didn't. I wasn't in a position where I knew how to handle that because I was just committed to the craft and committed to getting better, and I didn't know any different. So so it's a tricky one. So that's why there was I think it was after the loss I took the short notice fight. So leading into that fight, I had so I ended up getting an elbow surgery.
Fuck.
And so after the.
Was it
No, Yair Rodriguez. So after Yair Rodriguez had elbow surgery, and so I ended up drinking a bit, and wasn't training as much, wasn't in the right headspace. Because training you could imagine after so many years that it can get quite repetitive as well, and so it's hard to find purpose in the gym, especially when you don't have a fight. So then you end up and I had a newborn as well. So I had the newborn come in as well. So I was drinking and it was just wasn't in the right headspace. Then the fight comes, Islam 11-day notice, and I'm just like, this will snap me out of it. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Like
11 days, but 11 days. People, that was crazy.
It was. But I mean, this is like, this is what I needed. This will snap me out of it and all that. You know what I mean? Like, cause
did you cut 12
again,
kilos? Did you actually cut 12 kilos in 11 days?
Yeah. So I remember. Before I got that call, I remember I was in the gym. I was with Chris Jaffrey, my strength and conditioning coach, and he weighed me and did a couple of the jumping tests and all that. Did a few testing because we were going to start to pick up training. And then I went on the scales 83 kilos. And I've got to weigh in at 70-something, 71 or something. And I was like, oh, what? Couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm going to... So literally that day, I'm like, I'm going to try and bring it down. Then I got the call the next day. So literally within that one day, because I would have held a lot of water. I just come back from a holiday in Cairns. So I was drinking a fair bit and eating whatever. So I was quite heavy, holding a lot of water. So the timing was terrible timing for the. I'm usually in very good nick all year round. If there was ever a time that I wasn't, this was it. And then I get that call. So it was So then I'm like, Ash rings me and he's like, "Oh, you would look. I know you're not going to do it, but I've got to ask anyway. I know pretty much you're going to have to say no because he knew that I wasn't training and whatnot." Yeah. But I'm not doing my job if I don't ask. He asked, I'm like, wait a second. And I'm like, he goes, I don't know, I reckon maybe we do it. He's like, how much do you weigh up? I was 83 yesterday, let me weigh myself now. So I go and weigh myself, and then I was maybe 80 or 80. So I lost a couple of kilos from that day. So I end up being, maybe 81 or something. When I go, look, I've already lost a couple of kilos. Yeah, we can do this. Let's see. Obviously we can negotiate a contract. But tell them I'm in. But let's obviously make it worth it for me. And then, so that conversation happened. I rang up the boys. I'm like, because Joe was actually away because he was maybe cornering some guys overseas. So I just rang up a couple of the guys and I'm like, boys, I'm in camp. I'm fighting in a couple of days. Can I get you in this afternoon to put me through some meat grinders and stuff? So we just got back into it. And I obviously had the support from everyone on board, my nutritionist, strength and conditioning coaches, all my training partners. I rang Colby Thickness straight away. And, all the guys at the gym just said, can I have you to help out? And everyone was on board. And everyone tried their best to get me ready. Look, I thought we did a pretty good job. 11 days notice, you just ain't going to be able to go out there and do what you want. It's funny though. Let's dive into this.
Yes, please, because I was going to.
Okay, let's dive into people's mental state. Me, I was like, all right, I didn't prepare, but I made the decision to take it. I'm all good now.
Was it a challenge though? Because it was almost impossible for anyone to prepare for a fight like that. Was that what?
Not impossible in my head.
Yeah.
So I'll sit there as I've got no choice now. So this is how I am. It's going, if I had I'm going to train when I got notice. I'm going to train as if it's do or die, and I can't afford to miss one session. You know, I'm going to be that committed. But if something happens and I need, let's say I've got an injury and I can't train, I can be like, all right, I can accept that. And that's where I feel like some people are going to be, I'm injured, they're going to do their head in and be like, I'm not prepared, and they're going to, I can flip the switch. I will do what everyone, like I'll do what you have to do to prepare, and that is no excuses, get stuck into it, you know what I mean, and go above and beyond. But if something was to happen and it's going to be more detrimental me training and I have to pull back, I can accept that and tell myself that this is better for me, and and I'll make it work. I can do that. If I've got an injury that's broken foot, I'll be like, oh, no, it's all right. I'll just, I can do this, and it's all good, because I'll tell myself, it's like, it's on this side of my foot anyway. I'm going to be more on this side of my foot. I'll make sure I'm kicking this way or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll tell myself, that's all good. It's not even going to get in the way. You know what I mean? I can flip a switch and tell myself that. So in the 11 days, I told myself that I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to be more dangerous because it's short notice. I literally believed it. I told myself that, and I believed it. I said, now, last fight that, I went there and I was a little worried about the takedown and all that. Still, even though I wasn't worried, but at the same time, didn't let my hands go enough. Now I've got no choice. I ain't going to win a decision against Islam on 11 days' notice.
For sure.
So I'm going to go out there and I have to get the finish. I have to come forward. I'm going to fight in range where I can be hit, but I can hit him. And this is going to mean I'm going to be probably the most dangerous I've ever been, because I'm going to have to fight this fight. Yeah. And I told myself, and I believed it. And I prepared. I knew he would be kicking. I knew he would be kicking me and all that sort of stuff. So we trained the things to do from there. I get in the fight, and I couldn't let my hands go. Like, even though I was in range, I was in a close range, in a position where I was at a good range where I could let my hands go. Yeah. I just wouldn't let my hands go. So it was like, I'll put myself in a situation where I can cop a lot of damage, but I can do a lot of damage, but I just couldn't. Obviously, you're not training, you're not sparring. You don't get your timing. You're not seeing the shots. You're not finding the time unless someone's just standing still. All right, maybe I can set up a combo easier, but it was hard for me to get the timing and let my hands go. So I just which makes sense. No sparring. I'm like, now I look at it and be like, oh yeah, okay.
Comes from your prep, right?
Yeah, and then it's like, oh yeah, 11-day notice. That makes sense. Yeah. But I told myself and believed it that I'd be more dangerous because of that. But that wasn't the case. Like, I knew that the kicks would be coming. I even remember when he was going to the body, I'm like, head kick's coming. Like, I knew that he would change levels and go high.
You had the arm up.
Yeah, I was like here and it got over. Yeah, exactly. So it's funny. It's just, that's just it. But then afterwards, you're like, all right, it's a no-brainer. But you see me straight after that fight where that's where I was, concussion as well.
Was it from the kick or for the punch when he came on top of you?
It would have been the kick. A shin to the dome like that. Like, that's like proper contact to the brain. You know what I mean? That's proper... Yeah, that's trauma to the brain, direct brain trauma. So like, it sounds terrible when I say it like that. But you get what I mean? Like, you hit the chin and it rattles. Yeah. This was bang and like direct contact.
Were you lights out from
no, it wasn't that. Like, you could see me. I remember hearing it was like, and everything's just going all over the place.
I remember you saying, "Oh fuck!" Like, you knew you.
Yeah, so I was like trying to I was like, no, I knew what's happening. Like, I'm like literally, that's how it looked like. I was cross-eyed because everything was just everywhere and weird noises. But I was sort of there in a sense of, I'm like, no. I knew what happened. I'm like, try and get yourself back together, to defend yourself. And I couldn't defend. My hands just wouldn't do what it wanted. And I just remember my head just going, I'm like, no. So it was like, yeah. So it was pretty nuts. So there's understandable why I had a pretty bad concussion after that one. So I was obviously and my headspace going into that one. And then that's when, you see, this footage of me, sort of breaking down and, not knowing, what I'm, if I'm like this now, how am I going to be after the sport's done? You know what I mean? That's what I was worried about. But now, then I was like, all right, I need to keep busy. Told the UFC, I want to fight. I ended up fighting just after 3 months later with a bad concussion. Most people have 6 months, no head contact, and then starting the camp. I started training. When you're training, you're starting head contact pretty quickly. Look, I know you guys will sort of know how it is with concussions and all that sort of stuff.
Had a couple more times.
Yeah, and you know coming back to it and all that.
You're groggy.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, this is what I feel like's the difference, because one thing that I know that you can go back to maybe playing that sport, but I guess in fighting, the idea is to strike the head and all that sort of stuff. And then not only that, if you were to get injured, say you end up getting rocked again, because you see people end up getting rocked and they're a lot easier rocked, you're going to have to go out and then the rest of your team will play for you.
Yep.
I go in too early and I get knocked out, I lose my belt. Yeah, and that's the fact, and that's what happened. Like I'm not taking anything away from Ilya, but I mean I'm just saying that that's what can happen. Like so I got a crazy shin to the noggin, and obviously Ilya can hit hard. We've seen that, but I mean I've never been just completely lights out like that. I was lights out for a couple of minutes, and he got me in the cheek, but I just was like as soon as there was one good connection. Snoring.
Is he the hardest hitter, you reckon? Do you fought?
I don't know. Can't remember. So
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, so I'm sure. Look, you can tell he hits hard as well. But even the position, he was sort of moving, and then he did ground himself. But I know he can put himself in a more based and balanced position where he can even hit harder than that. But yeah, well, I wasn't even like rocked. I was just my everything just shut, like completely shut, which has never happened to me before. But yeah, so. Am I saying that wouldn't have happened if I didn't have the Islam? I don't know. Like, again, like he's very capable of knocking me out. Like I said, if I'm ever going to lose, it's someone catching me. Yeah. And he's a guy that can definitely do it. I was winning. A lot of people are like, oh, you're winning till you got caught. I was like, yeah, it was the case, but I still wasn't fighting my fight. I was worried about getting hit, and I was freaking out in there. And I remember sitting there, I was like, I was in two minds. Like, trying not to get hit, but then telling myself, no, you're right. Like you'll come back to it. Relax. I was like, if I was that worried about, why didn't I just shoot and be more defensive and just take him down and just hold him there? As like, but then I'll tell myself, no, you don't need to do that. You're right. You know what I mean? But then a lot of my reactions was like, it was a tricky one, but it was a tough one for me.
What was your strategy with Diego as a fighter?
Yeah, so Diego we knew that he was going to be, like the fight went exactly how we thought it would, in a sense where he's going to pull the trigger. Yeah. There's no defense in him at all. It is just as soon as you're in rage, he's firing. So he will eat one to give one. He's not even worrying about giving one. He's just looking at you as a target coming in, and as soon as you're in him, he's swinging. Doesn't even try and slip a punch or anything. He's just like
he loves eating
a tunnel vision.
Come back at
you. It's like I remember using this sort of I explained it this way. It's like it's say if someone was target shooting. Yep. Right. And all you need to do is just focus on a target and then try and move it, and just all you got to do is focus on it, and that's it. Yep. So that's sort of how he is, where he's in a sport where people are shooting back at you. Yeah. If you're I guess a soldier or in the army or something like that, you can't just focus. You need to be defensive. You need to hide behind walls. You need to find the right. You know what I mean? Like it's weird because I don't want to get into talk about that. But you obviously need to be careful of what's coming at you, and then find the right moments to find the target. Right? Yes. He's not like that at all. He is just focused on the target. And like for me, I am worrying about what's coming back at me and preparing that way while trying to attack and all that. So these guys are dangerous because he's lucky enough to have a crazy chin, where he can eat the shots that he does and then still be able to just fire and not worry about it. So he's always going to be dangerous. And we knew he was like that. And he was like that through the whole fight. So it was a tough one because it was like, there's a good chance I'm going to get hit. Yeah. How's my chin going to hold up? Yeah. Last time I went lights out. You know what I mean? So these are questions that are going to happen.
Because you got your round 2, you recovered quickly. But I think the biggest point of the fight was in round 4 when he got you in the eye as well. Did he fuck your orbital or something from that?
Yeah, so not my orbital. So I end up he ended up getting me in the eye, and I lost complete vision on that eye.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that just went. So I actually thought when he hit me, because I remember it was a big punch as well. I thought my eye just blew up. I thought like I mustn't have been able to see because I was just completely covered of like swelling or something. But it was just because it actually got like a knuckle went straight in my eye, and then the other knuckles got all like the cuts and all that. But it ended up having a little tear in the retina, then like nerve stuff and all that in the eye. So like so that just went. So you could see me like like freaking out a little bit. And as you could see, part of my game plan was to turn right, and you see me do it quite a bit. So while I'm turning right, knowing that that's where I'm safe, I can't see him no more because he's on this side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't see him. So, like, I was a bit frantic while you could see me. I was a bit like, what's going on? Like, just like sort of felt like I was just closing my eyes.
And he kept
flying.
coming for you.
I felt his presence. I'll just fire, move. And there was a minute there where I was like, you could see I was quite frantic. But then a bit of the vision started coming back. When I say a bit, like a bit of a blur come back. So I could at least see
Start fading in.
a little bit of a blur of him. So I could at least get an understanding of where he was. And I'd know if he's a meter and a half or half a meter in front of me. I'd be able to sort of get that judgment, and that was enough for me to calm down a little bit and get back to it. So it was but it was a tricky one. That one was it was a tricky one for sure.
Let's talk about the moment when you won it and you got announced as the champion, the UFC champ. What was that moment like for you? Because I remember, like, obviously having chatted to you beforehand, knowing that you had that belief you were going to win that fight, knowing how hard you worked to get to that moment. Like, it was impossible not to get emotional for you. Mm-hmm. For me personally anyway. But I want to know what it felt for you.
Yeah, it was it's always going to be relief, I guess. I guess it's always going to be relief. It's funny because
you were labelled, no one's done what you achieved.
Yeah, exactly. So all that, so they're very proud of all that sort of stuff. It's a tricky one because I can't dive into this sort of stuff because this is stuff that I will talk about later.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like I straight after the fight, I'm like going, "It's good to be back."
Yeah, man.
That's a lie. I'm going to be honest with you.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was a bit of a lie. Like, for me in that situation, like, I act like I enjoyed that. I didn't enjoy it in a sense. Like, it was there was that's what the part of the adversity is when I was talking about adversity is the privilege and all that. You've got a lot where the head's going, and then even in that fight, I was like, I was quite frantic in there. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of adversities, a lot of things that are telling me like, to give in, and then I'm just saying, But when I say adversity and privilege, I just knew that that's just going to make me stronger. So that's why that's where that come from. Just knowing that adversities every single time, even though it sucks at the time, this is only going to make you stronger and better prepared next time that happens.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that stuck out to me. Like, you mentioned, and you said it a couple of times there, adversity is a privilege. But I want to expand on that. Like, what's it actually mean to you?
Well, that's what it is. So obviously when people are adversity, because adversity, there's so many ways of adversity, and obviously adversity is usually hard times. Whether something's, which a lot of people are like, they could probably take offense to it. It's like, or how's it a privilege? It's just whenever there's adversity by choice or not by choice, yeah, obviously it's going to suck at that time. But if you try and get yourself composed through it and make the right decisions under that, that's only going to make you stronger when other adversities come your way.
Embrace
So so you're like, embrace it or just accept it. Accept it. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe just accept the adversity and find your way through it, and you're always going to be better getting through that. That's one thing that who did I hear talking about this? They may be talking about training and and I put myself, how do I get through these things? A lot of people are going to ask about, how do you mentally get through some of these things that I have? It's just,
I think what you said, accepting it. Because a lot of people
100%.
just feel like a victim, why me, shit mentality, right? But where others like yourself just go, you know what, fuck it is what it is. I'm just going to take it head on, challenge myself and be better. That's all you can do.
100%. And that is so true. It's like we can look at it two ways. We can go there and feel sorry for ourselves, which it might happen here and there, but then there's going to be times you'll be like, all right, enough of this. This is only spiraling and getting worse.
Yeah.
That's the wrong way to go about this. If I want to be strong for myself for later, stronger for my family or whatever it is, I need to make better decisions right now. Maybe a better decision isn't me, letting this spiral, you know what I mean? And just trying to get through these tougher times better, making better decisions under them, accepting that we're in a shitty position here. Let's try and get ourselves through it. And which, again, easier said than done. I know that. And it's going to be harder at the start, but I guarantee you're going to get better and better at it the more you do it. And that's why I'm saying that adversity, when they come your way, all right, you got to accept now that I'm in this position. Something bad's happened. I'm in here now. I need to get myself out of it. let's problem solve. You know what I mean? Like, I think problem solving is a key tool
Element
to
growth,
life.
to
Yeah,
growth.
yeah, exactly right. 100%. You know what I mean? You need to be able to problem solve and you know, and that's just that. But it's but yeah. So one thing I love about training, and I choose, and when I'm in the gym, as you said, the meat grinder, the spiders, these training sessions we do where it's like this adversity is by choice. We're choosing to put ourselves through some of the most uncomfortable positions you could do. Like, it doesn't suck any more than fatigue, like that type of fatigue. You know what I mean? It is painful. It sucks. But you get to yourself, and it still sucks. I don't want people to be like, oh, is that fit? And I know, like, it hurts and sucks every single time. I just deal with it better than most. So when we're both in the dumps, in absolute war, where we're both feeling with broken bones, and we're in this shitty fight together, who deals with that better? And that's exactly where I feel like I've a lot of the times got myself, a step ahead. I'm not more athletically gifted than any of these guys. There's a lot more athletically gifted people than me. But when it comes to preparation and those side of things, that grit, determination, never give up attitude, the composure, that acceptance of the uncomfortable times. And you just talked about accepting, where people being comfortable in the uncomfortable. I don't even like that. I don't like that. I don't like comfortable in the uncomfortable. I like accepting the uncomfortable. Because if you are hoping that some of these things are going to be comfortable, it's never comfortable. These training sessions that we do are never comfortable.
Yeah.
Never. I just deal with it better now. It hurts, painful, and I hate it every single time, but it needs to be done, and I accept it. You get what I mean? So that's what I want people to do. Don't look... Because if you're thinking that there's going to be a time where I'm comfortable and happy going through this, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, I like that.
Life ain't going to give you life. You might go through uncomfortable times that end up putting you in comfortable times, as in because you're financially better and all that sort of stuff. But if you think that you're going to deal with very bad situation, be comfortable under those, nah. You're going to just accept it and deal with it a lot better. So that's how I just like to sort of change that a little bit.
I like that.
Don't set yourself up for failure expecting life to get easy. You know what I mean? Even when you got all the money, life ain't easy. You know what I mean? You got your kids, you got family and all that. Your problems are going to come your way. Very stressful, uncomfortable things are going to come your way. Do you want to be the guy that accepts it and deals with it better? Or you're hoping to one day just hope it's comfortable and you're smiling through these things? You won't be. Like, there'll be times that they're going to throw some spanners in the works. Life's going to do that. So let's just be better at dealing with them and accepting it and finding our way through it.
Love that, brother. Who's on your hit list? Come on.
Who's on my hit list?
I saw you tweeted someone out the other day.
There's got a few of them now, man. Got a few of them.
I was going to say, because you've got, I was looking at the top 10, and obviously Leroy Murphy's probably the one on your mind at the moment. I saw you tweet the other day.
Yeah, so he got a big knockout, undefeated on a win streak. He's definitely up there. You just had Aljamain Sterling, who just won against Ortega, another guy that's sort of up there. Aljamain, he does have a loss not too long ago. It was like a split decision with Movzar. Movzar is the guy that should be next, but he's probably not gonna. Because he was meant to fight Pico. Right. You know what I mean? And I was pushing for him. I'm like, he deserves it. He didn't even need to take that fight, I thought, but the UFC wanted to make him fight. Then he ended up pulling out and wouldn't. So the UFC don't like that, because they try to push the fight back, and then he just didn't want to do it. I think I don't know the full situation, so they're probably like,
fuck.
That's it. Yeah, so they can be a bit cutthroat like that. So then now that's gone. But I mean, the only guy that you had, Aljamain, who fought him not too long ago and could have went either way, and then now he's got a win after that.
Could see a possible rematch with Lopes.
Lopes is fighting Silva.
September 14.
Lopes, I don't know if the rematch makes a lot of sense. Silva, a big finish over someone like Diego, who's right up there, probably puts him in a situation. So you've got like Leroy Murphy, Aljamain Sterling, Movzar. You never know with a Diego, Silva. There's a few guys there now.
Who do you want?
Who do I want? I wanted Movzar because I just thought he was the guy that deserved it, right? And I'm an easy champ to understand. Whoever deserves it gets it. That's just how I am, and I love that I'm like that. But I just, obviously I understand I'm not going to waste too much energy if I know it's a losing call. Like, you know what I mean? That's not going to happen. It's a lost cause, that one, most likely. So I'm like, all right, that's not there. So you got a Lerone Murphy. You got Aljamain Sterling. I don't really care. Honestly, I don't really care. I just think whoever makes the most sense, whoever people want. If everyone started screaming someone's name right now, I'd probably be okay with it, as long as it makes sense as well.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of them are in that same situation.
Because you want to know now, right? Like if you're going to fight in December, we're not too far away.
Yeah, exactly.
Think about it.
Yeah.
So
So that's why I'm like, he's got that fight, coming off a crazy knockout on a good win streak. I think Lerone Murphy makes the most sense.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said, I'll put all the names to UFC and be like, who we doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and we'll see what happens.
Destination?
If it is December, that'll be Vegas, most likely.
What do you enjoy fighting the most?
What do I enjoy about fighting the most?
Where do you enjoy?
Where do I... Vegas is good. The home of the UFC, you know what I mean? Like, it's well put together over there. It is good to go to other cities and seeing different things. But yeah, we've got some good connections there at in Vegas. So like, you know, the after parties and just everything you do in the hotels we get to stay at, and you get good treatment in Vegas. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So it's it's just easy. And when I got my family and friends over, I can make sure they're well looked after in Vegas. You know what I mean? So it's cool. So everything's just where the structure's way better in Vegas. That's why I don't mind it there.
I'm curious to know what it's like to win a fight, and then what's the aftermath of that? do you go, you know what, I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to go out with the crew.
It's hard, man. It's hard. You got to think of it's always late. You know, you end up fighting at like midnight. And
you
then
can't go to sleep after that, but your
you
adrenaline's
can't.
pumping for the body.
Yes, you are. But you got to remember, straight after the fight, you go to
press conferences and shit.
Yeah, well, yeah. So you go there and get stitched up and whatnot, and then you got to go do a heap of media. So you're there for like an hour and a half, maybe longer. And then you ain't going to the after party till about 3 o'clock in the morning after, say, a 5-round war. So you end up adrenaline dumping.
That's early in Vegas.
Yeah, it is. But after a 5-round war, like there's quite an adrenaline dump.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And sometimes you're like, whoa, man, like, you know, that's why you try and have a drink straight after and see if you can keep that adrenaline keep going. You know.
Yeah.
But it is tough. You know, sometimes you got broken hands, busted up, in pain. Everyone's excited, drunk. So you got broken hands. Everyone's like, giving you these big daps, and you're like, oh, like, you know, just stuff like this. You got cauliflower ears that are painful, and they're like, like doing these ones, and you're just in a lot of pain and struggling. Like the last one, I end up doing it because you want to show face to the people that you told them you're going to be at the after party.
Where was it at?
People there.
Where was it at?
Well, it was in Miami. So we end up 11, I think the place was called. So it was a wild place, busy, real busy.
Oh, are you joking? You would have been a...
He was sweet. Yeah, he didn't sleep, so he was there till morning, day clubs and everything. I couldn't do it. So I went there and it was wild. Like there's people everywhere. And I'm hurting. I didn't even get to have a shower. I went there in my walkout clothes. So I've went there, did the thing. I still got blood, sweat all over me because I didn't even have time to have a shower because I was just like, let me get to this after party, show face, say hello to everyone, and then I'm going to have to go home. That's when I thought my hand might have been broken, and obviously I was hurting, pain everywhere.
Can imagine.
I couldn't walk and everything, so it was that's was like, man, I'll go there, show face, and get me out of there. And then I want to be respectful and give people the time, but everyone's drunk by that stage.
Yeah.
So the time that they want is probably more than,
of course,
more than needed, but. Yeah, so I'm trying to be respectful while I'm hurting and ready to get home. But yeah, it's hard. It's tough after fights.
Yeah, I can imagine. You had some big moments.
But I mean, it's good when you win. So at least you won.
Well, exactly.
I ain't complaining because I got a good paycheck. I got the belt. So I'm in a great position.
You ain't going out if you lost.
Hey?
Would you still go out if you lost?
I have before, but one that I didn't would be Tapuria because the after party was pretty far. And it was a pretty bad knockout. I was out for a while, and then by the time we got there, and doctors and stuff like that. So there's no, didn't really get there. So that was probably the only one that I haven't been. So again, I want to show the face, but there's going to be times after fight which I know everyone's going to understand.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to get it. If you can't make it yet, they totally understand.
Surely.
Yeah, of course they do. But I mean, I will still try my best to at least go there and say hello and maybe get on stage. Hey, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, I'm out. You know.
That's why everyone loves you, brother.
Yeah.
There's you've had some big moments in the UFC. One that stands out for me, it's probably one of the best rivalries in the UFC, is yourself and Max Holloway. Do you sum that up the same way I did?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, man. Like, obviously a big star, a great fighter, who's still incredible fighter. You know what I mean? He's only lost to the best. Yeah, man. He's again well-loved dude. So it was weird because that rivalry was crazy because there was we talked a bit about hate, right? So I got a good taste of that fighting a well-loved guy like Max Holloway when I was coming through and I take the belt. So a lot of people can already put a sour taste, and then we end up having the rematch. And then that was in Fight Island. The whole world was watching that as well because there was no other sports going. And, controversial. A lot of people, we thought we won, but very, very close fight. And so a lot of people hate me because he's well loved. And they just, a lot of people thought he should have got the decision. So the way that they were, ruthless. And as you can see, I'm a pretty
chill bloke,
chill guy that tries not to offend anybody, and always been a people pleaser. I worry about offending people. I worry about people taking things the wrong way. So I'm getting all this hate that I just do not understand. So that was a rough one for me. So then I felt like I had to try and prove myself after that, and it was just a lot going through that rivalry. And then I end up having the Ortega fight, and that's where I was like, I need to go. I want to go out there and put on a good showing and all that. That's when I was trying to prove myself, and then trying to force bad blood that that's not me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a weird one for me, and I just really wanted that fight back with Max so I can settle the score because I knew I would. So it was crazy. So there was so many different elements to that rivalry, and then to go over there, finally have that last fight with him, and just go out and have a complete shutout, and just beat him all 5 rounds and do what I did, and that's when everyone was like, oh, okay, yeah, Alex is that guy.
Yeah.
And then that's when it just went. So it was weird because Ortega, I felt like after Ortega, bang, it went up, but then. The Max, that's when it went to another. That's when I was pound for pound after that. That's when everyone was like, "Oh wow, this guy's
he's legit,
no joke. You can't. No one's doing that to Max Holloway."
Fuck yeah.
And you can beat the guy, but then you can absolutely shut the guy out and just beat him. There's probably no better performance than that one against Max, and just purely because of how good he is. And that's why I'd say that is my top performance. There's probably not a better performance on my end. Other than that, just knowing how good Max is and to be able to do that to him.
Ortega was pretty close as well for what you had to do in that fight. Everyone looks at that fight and recalls the guillotine. But you got caught as well in the triangle. So twice in one fight, you had to do 2 pretty big escapes.
Adversity is a privilege, right?
Fuck.
So that's what I'm talking about.
Don't say that's fucking crazy.
Exactly. But I mean, why? How am I the guy that can get out of that? Because I can tell you now that the lights were dimming. It was I've said this before, it was as deep as it can get. I put myself in that position a million times in the gym. No one got anywhere near that close. Wow. It was oh no, you know what I mean? I was doing everything right. Luckily I had Craig Jones, and the training partners that I had, Colby Thickness, some of the guys that I had put me in those guillotines and those submissions. The adversities, I put myself through that camp. I remember, I think for that camp I had to get a cortisone shot early in camp for my neck just because of how much guillotines I put myself in, and all that sort of stuff. It's just, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's that's what you need to do. And so I've put myself in the worst possible positions, and that's why I can accept the uncomfortable, and at least accept this ain't good, but I'm gonna keep going until I die or get myself out of it. Luckily, he tired before I died. That's sort of how I look at it. And then straight away the lights started coming back, and then I'm already he's tired. I'm gonna make a most of this. I'm gonna wait until I get on top of you now. So I still can't even breathe, and I'm thinking like that.
What was worse, the triangle or the guillotine?
The guillotine. Yeah, the guillotine. The triangle compared to the guillotine was If I didn't have that guillotine, maybe I would have maybe stressed a little bit more on the triangle. But I was like, this is cruisy compared to how deep that guillotine was. That guillotine was, it doesn't get any more deeper than that. Like a lot of people, like I'm telling you, like it does, there couldn't be a better technical guillotine to get someone in. How deep he had that, the way he had his legs wrapped around me as well, behind my hips, and his technique in that position. Like for people that know and that could go down and break down the mechanics of that, you couldn't put me in a worse position. You couldn't. Like, lucky I've got like my stature. Otherwise, he could pull that head off. Like, you know what I mean?
I was going to say, lucky there's not much neck on it.
Yeah. There's not much neck on it, but he was able to still get
That's
under
what I'm
that.
saying.
And not having that neck, and then for him to still get under that chin and get it, that probably makes it worse for me because usually it's hard to get it there. He got it under. And, it was... I don't think people understand even the way I had to get myself out of that. Like I had to first make sure I could get his legs because I was under behind him. My arms were stuck at one stage too.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to. A lot of times, what I want to do is I get my hips down. I get his legs far enough down so I can push on his hips and elevate his hips a little bit, which gives me more room to make space between our hips because it was proper connection. So for him to have his legs around me and then still have the connection of the hips, which puts so much more pressure on my neck, is I couldn't even do that. I physically couldn't do that. He's that good at guillotines and been doing it for so long. He's able to get yourself in that deep of a triangle and still be able to keep it that tight as well while trapping you. So I had to do so many different things. And then when I did all these things, it still wasn't working. But I'm like, I'm going to keep doing it till something at least gives. And I just did enough. And then I was able to get myself out of it. And then, so it was like, it was nuts. But again, most people just be like, I tried. Most people will be like, oh no, and then just maybe tap. Most people will try, doesn't work, tap. Or most people just go to sleep, I'll just be like,
Lights out.
I tried,
Lights out.
I'll go to sleep. Me was like, I'm just going to keep trying. I'm going to keep just doing, even though it's not fully working right now. Like, I know this is the only way of solving the problem, so I'm just going to be persistent and do it. And then luckily, that grit and determination just got me through it. Because he was this close. He could have got that belt. He really, he must look at that. I feel bad for him because he was that close.
You'll have a challenge. It's pretty obvious. Is there one fighter in the modern UFC era, any division, that you would love to fight and step in the octagon in?
Probably Conor, man. A lot of people you're going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, Conor, it's like a boring answer. But remember, he was in the featherweight division.
Yeah.
That era when he was just an absolute superstar. The position you could put yourself in just fighting that guy is, you know what I mean? When you talk about building your platform, when we talk about money and all that, not only UFC, as you get up, you can, get better money, but the platform you're on, you need to take advantage of it. And that's one fast track to getting, building some hype around you and, getting some people to notice you.
What makes him such a great fighter, in your opinion?
Well, he was a good fighter. He was a great fighter. He was another fighter that was just his accuracy, and he was actually even a bit ahead of his time. He was really good. I don't think people will give him credit. Everyone's just like, he's just good knockout artist. He's just powerful punches. No, he had great timing, great setups, good understanding of what works and what works for him. He was sharp. But then a lot of that's obviously gone now. He's probably still going to be reasonably sharp, but he's never going to be that same Conor McGregor. Never will be able to. But he was good. You have to fight the right fight against him.
I want to rewind a bit, going back to the very, very start. We touched on it a little bit, but what moment did you decide you wanted to take UFC seriously?
I've always loved the UFC. I wasn't even training at the time, and I'm like, oh yeah, I reckon.
Because were you more committed to rugby league?
Yeah, I was. So I remember I wanted to always. I would watch. I was a massive fan of UFC. I wasn't even training at the time. I'm like, I reckon I could be a UFC champ. I reckon I could be good, and I wasn't even training. So something I always wanted to do. Then I had a couple of fights my last year of football, and won them pretty comfortably. And I was like, I'm going to take this on. So I started taking it serious. But I think, you know what? Actually, there's a moment. There's a moment that I remember that I was like, this is where I'm going to fully commit. So I end up doing the training. It was more pre-season just to keep fit for rugby league. And I end up training, and I was like thinking, man, I think I'm going to take this serious. And I was even bringing it up and being like, I don't know if this might be my last year because I might take fighting serious. And I was thinking this in my head. I remember this was early in the year of the because I was still just doing the preseason. I started just training, but I'm like, I think I'm going to take this serious. Telling people I think I'm going to go in. So I was already putting the feelers out, but I was in the middle of it. And then I end up having one of my training partners, Shane Coleman, his name is. He's one that sort of I was training with a little bit. And I knew him before I went to the gym. And he ended up calling me literally after I was having these conversations with people and be like, oh, I think I want to take it serious. He calls me that afternoon while I literally would have just had that conversation. I get a call. I answer. He goes, oh, man, look, I'm thinking of taking, I want to have a fight. I want to take it serious, and I want to train a partner to take it serious with me. What do you reckon? Literally, that's a call that I got straight after I was contemplating maybe taking this serious. And I'm like, that's a sign, man.
Yeah,
Let's do it. You know what I mean? And that's just the timing of it. So that's why I've talked about this before. But I mean, Shane, I reckon that's what made me fully be like, oh, if there's ever a time that you could say that something's meant to be, I think that's it. I literally just finished having these conversations, then I get a phone call saying, let's have a couple of fights and take it serious. I want a proper training partner to take it serious with. Wow. I'm like, all right, done. I was already thinking it. Let's go.
What a moment, brother.
Yeah, so I think that's where it was, yeah.
And now you're here mixing it up with all these celebrities, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, The Rock. I can keep going. He's a movie star now. Is there one celebrity that took you back? Because I don't take you to be the type of person to get starstruck when you meet celebrities.
No, I don't. I can obviously keep the composure under him, but I still have, I still be like, what? How weird is that? Mark Zuckerberg's.
Did you play poker with him?
Yeah, man. Yeah, proper,
Just a kid from Wollongong, brother.
I've stayed at his place. I've stayed at his, he's got a spot where I was in his guest house. We'll wakeboarding together, training and everything. Yeah, man.
What's he like?
Yeah, man, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. Honestly, obviously he's a smart man. You're probably not having conversations that one thing that the reason what made him sort of, I guess, fascinated, you can see how his brain works. He wants to know the mindset of people and all that. And it was after the Max Holloway, the third fight. And I broke my hand in the second round and was able to do it. He heard about that and he's like, oh man, congratulations. And he's like, I heard you broke your hand and wanted to know more about that. So that's how we started talking. So he was intrigued about that side of things. So that's sort of how it was at the start, just more, respect of, what you've done. And then he was like, oh, would love to, maybe get some training, come over and stuff. So then when I watched, I think it was Kakar France fight for the title against Marino. We organised on the way back after the fight to go past his house and catch up. So that was the first time we went there, and then that's when it started being more of I guess you could say a friendship. So we'd wakeboard and have a couple of wines together, playing poker even there with a couple of his friends.
That's mad.
Yeah, so it's cool. And Priscilla, his wife, she's awesome as well. But it's random. So you can imagine, I'm just like, what the hell's going on here? It's crazy. Now now we just chat. He'll just hit you up on WhatsApp, see how you're doing, and same we'll just have conversations. So it's pretty weird.
Was there any other celebrity stands out for you? Donald Trump? Do you have much of a?
No, not really. Haven't just seen him at events. Chris Hemsworth. I've had a couple of Chris Hemsworth. I've had a couple of
Aussie great.
Of catch ups with him. He's a good dude. He reached out again. Remember, I told you about that when I was, having that after the Islam fight, where I was just because the footage got out of me, sort of crying at the press conference and stuff like that. And I had a few people, even very successful people, reach out and be like, look, and sort of explain it everyone goes through it, even high achievers, you know what I mean? Having that sort of mindset can sometimes be your worst enemy at the same time too, right? If you don't have the right things in place. So it was cool to go there and have people like that reach out so just a few things like that. It's pretty cool. The Rock, I've had a couple of One cool thing is I end up doing, I think this is true, or whether they just told me to make me feel good, I don't know. So I end up doing the underarm, the Project Rock underarm.
Yep.
They did the Project Rock thing that they needed. They were doing it in Australia. I don't know if they had someone and then they had to pull out and then they needed someone else, but then they asked The Rock, he goes, I want a UFC fighter. I want Volk. And then he asked for me specifically to play the part. I don't know if someone else was meant to do that. And then he goes, no, I want a UFC fight. Or that for some reason that guy couldn't.
Right.
So then he asked for a UFC and asked for me specifically. And I was like, oh, that's pretty
Still
cool.
fucking unreal.
So I've had a couple of moments with him, which is cool. So I remember he gave me the rock toast. I don't know if you know about his cheese, the rock toast.
How does he make that again?
So it's like a French toast, but it's a massive French toast. The way they do it's pretty cool. And then he's got goes with cream and like this caramel, I don't know, like it's actually really good. I had some, and even the sauce that they use, it's incredible.
When you say good, is it like more the healthy side, or
Oh,
is this like a treat?
it's his cheat meal. Oh. It's a proper cheat meal. So he sent it to us when I fought a zombie, but he sent it to us before the fight. So I had to wait, and then I had a taste actually straight after the weigh-in, but I couldn't eat too much of it. But then I got stuck into it. I don't know how long you're meant to just keep it out, so I was just sitting in the room.
I don't know,
but it was still good even a couple of days later, I'll say that.
Brother, the world famous segment on my show is Truth or Sauce. Obviously having the nickname Sauce, and the beauty of it, I get to ask you questions, and you either...
I get to ask you questions.
Yeah, that's the beauty, and you get to ask me a question.
I've come prepared.
So I don't know if you like hot sauce. Being a Maso Greek, you guys more into the tzatziki, tara masalata, so I don't think spice is your go.
Oh, come on, mate. Spice is my thing, 100%.
Is it really?
Yeah, I love my chili. I'm gonna for sure. You know what? I'm probably going to not answer your questions on purpose so I can have some. That's how much I love it.
That's how much you love a challenge.
That's how much I love a challenge. There you go. It's a good one. So it must be, is it pretty hot? Is it hot?
It's spicy. It's
See,
spicy.
I like it. I'll be honest, I can have hot chili, but I don't enjoy, because there's some of them that's just like so you can't even taste the food sometimes.
You know Spice Temple in the city, the restaurant, the Chinese restaurant? Have you been there before?
Nah.
I went to this restaurant, Chinese, and there's a dish, and it's Kung Pao chicken, and it's just drenched in chilies. And
I've had the Kung Pao chili, and they're literally you could just see chili everywhere.
I fucked up. I was having a laugh. I was a bit drunk, and I put my fork in it, and I took a bit of the chili with it. Almost killed me. It numbed my whole tongue and everything. Anyway, you ready for question one, brother?
All right, we're question one.
All right. Listen, what are you now? 36, 37?
36. Oh, no, sorry.
You're turning 37.
Yeah, man. So that's another thing. I was 36 when I won the title. If I was a 35-year-old, so
Exactly.
I was 36. And my next fight, I'm going to be 37.
Exactly.
Anyway, sorry, keep going.
So, do you feel retirement is close, or is that nowhere near your mind right now?
Oh, it's definitely obvious. I'm going to be 37 on my next fight. You know what I mean? It's definitely, I always knew it was going to be close. I think people know. If people expect me to have another 10 fights, I wish. That's just not the case.
That was fucking easy.
Yeah,
I wasn't hard on him. I wasn't. All right. You don't want to answer me.
I sort of.
You don't want to answer me anything. You don't have to if you don't want to.
No, that's all right. What do you go? Keep going. You all right?
Do you want me to go to the next one?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah. Oh, so I was going to say, you want to go, or do you want me to go?
Well, however, how does it go?
Yeah, tit for tat. Let's go.
Tit for tat. Okay.
I know what's coming.
So I can. I've got one. I'll save that for later. But I know. Is there a relationship with some footy players?
Yeah.
One that you want to share with us. A footy player that maybe everyone already knows about blood, but doesn't know the full extent. Maybe you want to even. Is there beef? Do you have any beef with players? That'll get you in trouble, won't it?
No.
Is there beef with players that you want people to hear your side of the story? It looks like this was set up.
I'm similar to you in that sense. I'm a people pleaser. I don't like upsetting anyone. I respect everyone, but I did have a couple of battles on the field where it was probably a bit deeper than just my opposing number.
Yeah, but that means it's either you talk about that or you have the chili,
fuck,
right?
I'll talk about it. Fuck, I'm talking about it.
Are you trying to bounce around a question?
No, I'll answer it. So back in the day, we used to have a pretty good
Wait,
rivalry.
am I starting stuff here?
Nah, you're
it's
good,
all right.
bro.
Okay,
You're good.
Am I instigating stuff? Wait, this is your podcast.
Yeah,
This is your fault, not
it's
mine.
all right. You can take over it if you want. I used to have a good rivalry between Joseph Leilua and Jordan Rapana from the Canberra Raiders. So,
Okay.
they're pretty fiery players, very physical.
So just competitive,
Rivalry?
rivalry.
Ultimate competitive.
Okay.
Ultimate. So
Is that how it started?
that's how it started.
Okay.
And it kind of was always like that. Like I think, or I'd like to think, whenever we finished a game, we'd always, shake hands and just leave it on the footy field. We never used to get in brawls or anything. We almost got into a punch on in 2014 with Joey Leilua when I was on tour with the Kangaroos. We were playing against Samoa and we're in each other's face. I'm like, this could happen here. This could happen. I was getting ready, but it didn't happen. I remember as well in 2018, and I got a bit dirty after the game because he did this to me, but Jordan Rapana wasn't playing wing that day. He was playing fullback. And I made a line break down to the sideline. And I saw him coming across. And I ended up just drawing and passing to my inside. I think we ended up scoring. But when he came across, he took me out in the process. But how he took me out, he came... And I just come back from facial reconstruction. My whole face was fucked.
Okay, yep.
He came across, horizontal elbow, and just whacked my face. And I've hit the ground, and I'm on the ground. I'm like, fuck, here we go again. I thought I fucking caved my face in again.
And it would have been, obviously, everyone knew you just come back from that too.
Yeah. So everyone was like, oh, shit. And as I was grabbing him, I was just pissing blood out of my face. And the physios ran on, and he was shitting himself because, fuck, it's the same side. I ran in. Doctors looked at it, checked my vision and everything, all good. But my fucking eyebrow was just opened up like that. To be fair, I was livid. I was burning after that moment, but he did come into the sheds after and he did apologise.
Okay, yeah.
I was still dirty. I was
Okay,
still a
yeah.
bit dirty, but anyway.
All right. So what was the names again?
Jordan Rapana.
Jordan
and
Rapana.
Joseph Leilua.
And Joseph Leilua. Okay, so that'll be for my next question.
Next question.
No. I might.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got one for you.
I know my next question.
I've got one for you. And fuck, I'm looking after you here.
You're looking after
I'm
you,
looking after you here.
You can change them.
No, I don't want to. Some of the biggest names in UFC have come out of the featherweight division, obviously, like yourself, Jose Aldo, Conor McGregor, Leo Topuria, and of course your rivalry with Max Holloway. Looking back at your career and all those names I just mentioned, do you believe you're the best featherweight of all time?
It's tricky. This one's just a tough one because I don't like it. I like to let the people, make that sort of argument. So it's weird because am I going to dance around the question now? I don't like. Well, it's a weird one. This is actually harder. It's harder because
I'm giving you a compliment here.
Yeah. Wow, because it's a tricky one because I don't like to talk about it. Do I believe?
This unbiased.
Do I believe?
I believe you are.
I think a lot of people are going to think that, but I'm just not the type of guy to. Even if everyone thought that, I still wouldn't say it. So it's weird. So that's the only hard thing to talk about is that me trying to say that I'm the GOAT. Like I just not me, right?
If you want to duck and weave, brother, you're more than welcome to have a hot chip.
I guess it's duck and weaving. If I say I'll leave it to the people, it's duck and weaving, isn't it?
That is.
All right, it's duck and weaving. Ducking and weaving here, sitting on the fence all the time. You know what I mean? Like here. All right, I wanted to try. Ooh, we go in, eh?
No, you said you like chili.
All right, yeah, fair enough. Ooh.
He's definitely gonna make me answer. Try to force me not to answer the next question.
No. Oh yeah, I got to try and make you eat the chili. But anyway, cheers.
Cheers. Sweet, eh? Sweet.
I know they're going to be. There's a taste.
You're looking all right.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this to. Oh, here we go. It's coming now. I was like, I know this is coming. I could tell straight away.
I could tell because you're getting red.
No, because I was like, that's nice too, by the way. It's real good. Because it come then, I'm like going, because there's some of them that have a good kick, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a type of chili. What chilies are in there?
I seriously can't even remember.
Okay.
I didn't get it made.
I've got the hiccups now.
Yeah.
There we go. That's when you know. There you go. That's when you know they're good. That's all right. I don't mind that.
Oh, beautiful. We'll use
But
it.
it's definitely.
You can use it for your next cooking Cooking reel.
We'll chuck that in the cooking.
Yeah,
You
done.
got some?
Yeah, well, fuck. You're going to use that for your gyros, are you?
I like a bit of chili.
Yeah.
Chili with tzatziki. Wow,
We've
I've
lost
got
him.
the
We've
hiccups,
lost
eh?
him. Well, that means you're not going to have to ask me the next question. Let's move it on.
That's good. But I mean, yeah, it's got some kick.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
It's got some kick. That's like that's probably as far as I would go. Like I like hot. That's it. That's
Yeah.
like where it's I can still probably enjoy my hiccups are coming out. I can still enjoy that. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like, borderline where it's like, is that getting too much to ruin the food? Nah, that's where I'm like, I've always wanted, I'm giving you a good compliment here. I've always wanted to find the good balance where it's like I can enjoy it, but it's still hot enough where I can be like, oh yeah, I know I'm having chili here. You might have nailed it there.
Thank you,
well
my
done.
brother. I appreciate it.
I might take some. My dad and brother would love that.
I might put that in mass production. No more questions? Happy? Moving on?
No, I've got one for you.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we had a couple more, didn't we?
Well, that was my last one.
Was that your last?
That was my last one.
I thought we asked 3 each.
Nah, two.
Oh, 2. Oh. Which one do I want to do then? Because I wanted to just ask who would win in a fight out of you and Jordan. What's his name?
Jordan Rapana.
Rapata.
Oh.
Jordan Rapata, because this would instigate some stuff. And Lulua.
I'll eat them both alive, brother. Throw them in the ring.
I mean, I haven't. There you go. So you answered that too quickly. So let's move on to the other questions. I haven't asked you yet. I was saying, should I? So I just sort of. You know what I mean?
I'm not a controversial guy, but if there's one thing I think I know what you're going to ask me, and I know producer.
I'm gonna ask. Can I ask it?
Yeah,
Well,
go ask.
you know
The floor's yours. The floor. You can ask me whatever.
Okay. I am gonna ask. What's his name again?
You
Hey?
motherfucker. You motherfucker.
Jason Demetriou. Do you want to tell us about your relationship with Jason Demetriou, or you want to have some hot sauce?
Oh my god.
Because I couldn't remember the name, but I knew that. I knew that.
It's funny
there's
that
some
because
stuff.
I get along with Greeks, you know, obviously like yourself, but that one Greek I didn't get along with.
Is this why we're doing a gyros versus kebab? You
No,
know what I mean? Is it-
that's not where the rivalry's coming from. How do I frame this? Listen, I've spoken about it before. You know how some people just get along with each other and some don't. Like my experience, unfortunately, wasn't a good one. The one thing I don't like is I don't like to shy away from hard conversations. If you want to be upfront and honest with me, fucking just say it. Don't beat around the bush. Don't say something where you don't really mean it. And unfortunately, I had that relationship with him. Like, you know, he there was a period in that year where I just got fucked around too much, and I don't want to just blame him entirely. Like, I still want to blame myself as well, because I let that get the best of me, and I let him win. End of the day, I came with a shit attitude to training. I was kicking stones. I had a proper victim mentality. Because at the end of the day, I could have all that against me. He could not pick me for the rest of the year, but I still had the choice of rocking up to training and still bettering myself as a player.
Exactly.
And I didn't do that, unfortunately. I read off the year. I was going, you know what, fuck this. I'm just gonna not do whatever the fuck I want at training, just cruise, and which was the wrong decision, right? And it was unfortunate, but it is what it is. It was a big lesson learned. But yeah,
that was good. There's a lesson to learn in that as well. Accountability.
Yeah, big
Because
time.
it's easy to throw blame everywhere. Everyone's going to do that, right, all the time.
Big time. And I was in my own right. To be fair, I was in my own right.
Yeah, so that's the thing. But again, should that affect your standard?
Yeah, it does. Big time.
Should it affect your standard?
No,
so
it
for me,
shouldn't.
this guy doing this has pissed me off, but he's like, all right, now I'm going to half-ass this. It's like, nah, it shouldn't be, you know. But you're holding yourself accountable.
Yeah.
So at least you were holding yourself accountable. You know you could have did better in that situation.
Like if I was to see him on the street today, would I shake his hand? No, I wouldn't.
Okay, so he's saying he's a piece of shit, but I could have handled the situation a bit better. And I like it because he's being upfront, he's being honest, but he's holding himself accountable as well.
End of the day, like...
So it was his fault, but I hold myself accountable because I could have treated
Yeah.
my side of that situation better.
Yeah. And cause I look back, I'm like, if I knew I wasn't going to play for the rest of the season, I would have pushed for a release. You know what I mean? But why keep me there if you know in the back of your mind, and it was quite evident that you weren't going to play me, fuck, I'll get a release and go to a different club that wanted me. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. But that was a great question, you bastard. Fuck.
Jason, so what we're trying to
I want to hear his side. That would be actually an interesting podcast.
You can ask another one if you want. Was that a tough question for you? You can ask.
I don't know.
Is that a bit of sweat? Did I get a bit
Jake,
of sweat?
you got any tough questions in mind?
I can even feel.
I should have. Wait there.
Go on, I'll wait. Keep it rolling. You know what? I'll be honest. I've got I can feel it in the chest and that as well. Like it's going down. Mate, I tried to do a run yesterday. Hill sprints. I just thought because I knew I was going to be here today. I'm like, that's it. I'm going to wreck myself. I got a steep as hill. I mean, proper steep. I'm going to proper wreck myself. I tried to sprint up that first one. I was like, man, I almost felt like I could have had a heart attack. And I reckon the chili's attacking that right now. You know what I mean? I can feel it.
That's all right. No, we got one. We got one.
Shit. Oh,
He's actually looking after you. He couldn't think of any at the time, but I thought of something. No, go. Yeah, more.
I am a pretty open book.
All right. You just said before that you love everyone. You know, you're a people pleaser. You respect everyone. But is there one fighter that you can't stand?
One fighter that I can't stand.
There has to be one.
Oh, mate, yeah. Like
I hate his guts. I just don't like him.
Yeah, Colby Covington. I mean, that's an obvious one.
Oh.
I mean, it's an easy question.
No, yeah.
But I'll make it a little bit better for you.
Go on.
Colby, you're a piece of shit, and I dare you to come say something to my face, because I'd love to slap you. There you go.
Where did this hatred come from, though?
He's just a piece of shit. Like, I mean, he just is. And that's why I just don't like human. Because, again, I try my best. Not just try my best. I just think, the sport I'm in, you're going to get bad publicity a lot of the time for people that aren't even involved with the sport. But then, because a lot of the people that I like in this sport are some of the nicest people I've ever met. Some of the most disciplined, well-respectful type guys, good human beings and girls, very good human beings. But I mean, a lot of times you get idiots like him that'll go and just take things too far. Like some of the things that he have said is just no. There's pushing the fight, and then there's just pieces of shit, and he is one of them.
Well, if you want to reply back, brother, the chair's there. You can come back anytime.
I mean, and what pisses me off even last time, I think it was after my fight.
Just didn't want to
wouldn't say nothing to Paddy Pimblett. But then Paddy Pimblett, while the cameras was around, started saying stuff, trying to act like he was arcing up. Again, just for the camera, that sort of stuff. And mind you, last time he talked all that crap and was acting like that, he ended up getting hit by Masvidal, who look, I don't like violence, right?
People say I look like that bloke.
Yeah, I can see it because now he's got the longer hair. But yeah, before you even had the same beard. Yeah, bro. Watch him back, 100% early career. Yeah, it's true. But I mean, he ended up getting him in the streets because he was saying some stuff like, even talking about his family and all that.
I can't do that.
And there's people you don't say that to. Masvidal's going to be one of them. And you know that. So, like, I mean, that's the line that you wanted to cross. And then he ended up, like, wanting to press charges and all that sort of stuff. So this is the type of guy like he is. And then he'll go and do the same thing to other people after knowing that you didn't like the outcome last time.
Yeah.
Played the victim. When you're like, I've heard that bloke talk about people's deceased fathers and stuff like that in press conferences and saying some really bad stuff and bringing family involved and all that. So when I see stuff like that, and I'd love it because he'd be like, oh, he's just a featherweight. No, I'll say something then. Whatever.
Well, respect for you answering that.
There you go.
You're very, very honest.
I mean, I'm glad I told you because you know what I mean. It would have been easy to be like, yeah, I hate him, but then everyone hates him. Yeah. So I thought I'd take it a step further and say that.
I fucking appreciate
really
that,
call him out on that one.
Brother, it's been a great show, and there's just one more thing left to do. I know you're a proud Macedonian Greek man, and I brought you this great bottle of rakia.
Rakia.
I think we should have a toast, brother.
Are we going to do one?
I think we should.
After you burned my insides with the
Didn't think of that. Let's pour a glass.
I'm like feeling as I've gone because I didn't eat. No, I actually didn't really eat much today, so I feel like I can feel it in my guts even now. Maybe this will make it better.
So it's unopened, brother. I left it especially for you. All right. Do you know how much we pour about?
That's actually got some. I think I'm just getting much better with it. Is that like really hot? I'll be honest. Is that meant to be really?
That's pretty hot.
It is, isn't it?
But
I'm getting better, but I mean that is still. That must be hot.
Like, we didn't want it to the point where you'd be rattled for the rest of the show, but it's enough there where
it's there. Like I said, it's like I can.
Remember,
we had a heap on it, but if I was to put that a little bit of that on, like say on a stir fry or mix that in with a gyros or a kebab with the other sauces, beautiful. So I'm gonna get a good kick, one that you will enjoy, like enough where you're like, ooh, borderline, but I get to enjoy the rest of it too. So I like it.
Let's pour a glass, brother.
Oh man, don't do too big, but. Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, my guts are hurting, eh? I was just saying, I don't know if you heard that. I don't know if you heard that. I did so I decided like yesterday because I knew I was coming. I wasn't going to get a morning session in, so it was a Sunday. I'm like, I'm going to do because I've got a steep hill. I mean, it's a couple of kilometers of just like proper steep.
Port Kembla.
To my to my farm. It's probably it's steeper than that. And it's like it's literally bottom of the hill all the way to because I'm like near the top of the escarpment. It's like that, and I'm like, I'm gonna wreck myself. That's what I was like, thought to myself. So I sprinted that first bit, and it got me hard. So I was like proper feeling it.
Doesn't help that you've got short legs, short strides.
I'm not built for running, that's for sure. And then I proper felt it. I was like far out. So I remember it felt like I had bloody asthma when I did it. And then now I feel like the chili sauce was attacking what I did yesterday. And now this is going to make it feel much better.
Before we wrap up, brother, I just want to say it's an absolute privilege to have you on. Your story of hard work, perseverance is so motivating, brother. I had the privilege to train with you. Thank you. You're just a great bloke, all-round bloke, man. That's why you're loved so much by everyone in this country, man. So thanks for taking the time to come on the show, my brother.
Thank
Salute.
you. Cheers. Salute to that. Thank you. Oh, man.
That's fucked. And that's a wrap.